Greetings to all. Welcome back to the last lecture of week 3, that is on digital marketing mix. So if you remember, the last 4 lecture catered to the 4 P's of marketing, and in 5th lecture we will summarize the extended P's. So I have kept the extended P's as in the remaining 4 P's in the extended P's strategy, and since this is the 5th lecture, we will conclude our discussion on digital marketing mix with this lecture. So let us start. So I again want to recollect and make a understanding with what we have discussed so far. So if you remember, in our lecture from 1 to 4, we have discussed this traditional or very classical, I would say, classical marketing mix, which is given by McCarthy, and in today's lecture I would be discussing on the remaining 4, in which the 3 are primarily known as the service marketing mix, and one is performance, that is basically digital marketing mix. So there have been different theories regarding this. Some uses performance as the 8th P or the extended. So I have basically termed these 4 P's as the extended P's, and today we are discussing the extended P's strategy in this particular lecture. So as I was talking about, so performance is something which have been newly added, and it is said that it is a component or it is a mix for a digital marketing mix, because digital marketing is primarily, it talks about how effective is your marketing communications and how effective is your different marketing programs, and in order to make that understanding, you need to have check on the performance, how your company is performing in that aspect. So that becomes a very important essential performance, the extended P's. There are different other opinions in some literature. They talk about partner as the 8th P, and again there are some literature which talks about payment as the 8th P. So it depends. However, the performance is the most popular one, and it is being quoted in different literatures. So let us discuss it one by one. People strategy. So people strategy, as the name itself suggests, it deals with people. It deals with how to manage the staff of the company who are at the forefront when interacting with the customers. So the staffs, they are in the forefront when interacting with the customers. So they are managing the touch points with the customers. So they have to be properly trained. So we need to understand that staff of the companies who are at the forefront interacting with the customers, they are also handling their curiosity about the products and brands. Also they are facilitating in ease of ordering, redressing their complaints, and providing after sales services through personal interaction or online chats. So online chats are either through call centers or on social medias. So we need to understand that these staffs of the company, they are in direct touch or in direct contact with the customers, and they are regularly engaging the customers through their interaction, and in their interaction they are trying to handle their curiosity about the products and brands. So they might have different queries regarding the price, regarding the features, regarding the availability, and so on. So these staffs, they are handling the curiosities and queries of the customers. They are also facilitating ease of ordering. So if a consumer wants to purchase, if he is in agreement, if he has convinced, he wants to purchase the product, so these staffs, they will facilitate the customer in ordering for the product, and also they will ensure it properly delivered to the customer. Also they redress their complaints and provides after sales services. Now this could happen either through personal interaction or through online chats. So if it is a digital marketing channel, so obviously it will happen through online chats. So there are different call centers are there, or through social media there, different avatars are there, chatbots are there. So we are using the technology to engage the customers. So people strategy is all about managing the staffs who are in direct touch, who are in the forefront on customer interaction. So throughout the customer journey, be it physical or digital, there are various touch points as I was discussing. So at various touch points, these staffs, they interact with the customers and they represent themselves as the face of the company. So these staffs, they are the representatives of the company. These staffs, they are the face of the companies, and through various touch points they come in direct interaction with the customers, and that is why it becomes very important that these staffs are properly trained, properly motivated and properly empowered. So it becomes very essential that since they are representing your company, they are the mouth and face of your company, they are promoting your products, so they should have proper knowledge about the product, they should have proper knowledge about the brand, they should have proper knowledge about the company. So that is why you need to train them, you need to keep them motivated, you need to empower them so that they speak good about your product, so they have clear understanding about the product and brands. So all these things is basically managing people, and these are nothing but the people strategy. So according to Dave and Fiona, the people variable of the marketing mix relates to how the organization's staff interact with the customers and other stakeholders during sales, pre and post sales communication with them. So not only the customers, so there are other stakeholders also, there are suppliers are there, so there are financiers are there, government representatives are there, public at large is there. So how your staff is communicating with these stakeholders. So customer is one of the prime stakeholders, and every business aspect is focused on the customers only, but there are other stakeholders also who are important for any company, and how your staff is interacting with them also create a huge impression in the minds of the stakeholders, and that is how it builds the brand of any company. So with the advent of internet and digitalization, the way the staff interacts with the consumer, it have changed. So now the businesses, they are using different level of combination of people and technology. So different level of people, combination of people and technology are being used in managing service communication and interaction. So basically companies nowadays, they are using technology in handling communication, and it is not purely people or purely technology. Most of the companies in general, they are using the blend of both people and technology. So three levels are there, that is what we are discussing here. Substitution, so where you are substituting people with the technology or technology with the people, right? So nowadays with the advent of digitalization, basically we are trying to substitute people with the technology, because with technology we are more efficient and it can handle the communication at larger scale. For example, I gave a very small example of email marketing. So sending mails, written handwritten letters, or you are keeping a person to send email, physically writing the email and sending it to the person. So it is something, it is very difficult task. So rather you can have email automation, and whatever you make an algorithm, so whatever happens, and it has got a set pattern, and accordingly it will automatically email. So if you see sometimes when you do some transactions with the bank or some transaction, immediately you get a response, and sometimes you get, when you book ticket, you get an email confirmation, and it is written there that it is auto generated email. So no one has sent it, no one in the sense, no person has sent it, and if you are it is a non reply email. So if you are replying to that email, no one is going to respond back, because it is automatically generated. So this is what is the email automation. So it is happening. Similarly, there is a complementary. So complementary is deploying technology in combination with people. So we are having people also doing the same thing, and they are being facilitated with the technology. So they are using technology in order to be more efficient, in order to be more relevant, right? So they are making best use of the technology in increasing their efficiency and effectiveness. Then there is displacement. So displacement is totally outsourcing or offshoring the technology or people. So you are completely displacing or removing the people, and in that place you are keeping technology. So nowadays, for example, these chatbots, so these are very popular, or interactive channels are there. So they are independently, automatically they are communicating with the consumers. So in that case you don't actually need people who are there to actually talk or chat or reply to the emails. So there is these all are made automation, or the process is automated. So technology is somehow changing the way the businesses communicate with the consumers and other stakeholders. So moving ahead is the process strategy. So what process strategy it talks about? So it talks about the flow of activities or mechanism that takes place when there is an interaction between customers and business. So process is nothing but the flow of activities or mechanism that ensures a good interaction between customer and the businesses. So the process strategy, it refers to managing the methods and procedures a company follows to achieve its overall marketing objectives. So what are those methods and procedures? So basically these are those methods and the processes which ensure smooth, efficient and customer friendly business processes. So for example, I give a very small example: opening a bank account. So it's not necessary now that you actually have to visit a bank to open your account. Rather, you can request for opening account through online also, or for example ordering for demand draft. So making a DD, it is not important that you have to visit the branch. You have to visit to collect the demand draft. However, for applying you don't have to be there. Even for transfer of funds also, if you remember from the previous lectures, I have given example of taking SIM cards. So now taking a new connection of mobile phone connections, telecommunication connection, it is much smoother. You don't have to go through various filling the forms or doing various KYCs and so on. Rather, it is automatically get authenticated by your Aadhaar details. So these processes have been automated, and that gives convenience and ease to the customers. So that is somehow helping them a lot, and the customer, they are having a good experience with the companies. So the company should prioritize and optimize the process which are customer centric. So whatever process which includes or directed towards customers, whether it is directly or indirectly, that should be prioritized and that should be optimized. So process strategy is all about prioritizing and optimizing the processes which are customer centric, so that the customer have best experience while dealing with your business. So in this, actually technology has played a very pivotal role. So process automation has significantly changed the way certain methods and procedures are performed. For example, email automation I have given, business re-engineering. So all those things, it is, I have tried to highlight few of this. So three things, three important aspects should cater to when we talk about process automation or process strategy. It should try to simplify the process, it should make it convenient for the customer, and it should reduce the waiting time. So customer should feel ease of interacting with your business or through your website or whatever. So the procedure should be simplified, it should be convenient for the customers, and it should reduce the waiting time. So customer should not be held for long time waiting for the product and services. So for example, in supermarkets, what happened, there are different counters. So multiple counters are there. You take your products, you fill the cart with the product and you move to the place, and immediately there is a billing is happening with the QR code. They just capture the QR code, and immediately the whole details come on their screen. So just they have to show the product. So that actually have made the whole system more faster, and now it is making more and more faster by payment through QR codes and so on. So all these are basically intended towards reducing the waiting time for the customers. So the process strategy should be such that it should provide simplified, convenient and optimized process, any business process which deals with the customers. Not only customers, rather, since we are talking about marketing, we are more intended towards marketing processes. However, it is about overall business process should be, should be smoothened. So workflow, we have already discussed that how the work should flow in such a way that it should reduce repetition, it should reduce wastage of time. So Ford, he gave the very interesting, see this channels are there in industry, in organization, in production houses. There are channels which are strips are running. The point is, the product should move from one place to another, and whatever value is added to it, whatever, for example, in bottling unit, so bottle will be there and the ingredient will be put at some other. So there is a channel is there through which the product is passing from one place to another, and at one place there would be filling of the ingredient, and another place there would be capping the bottle, and another place there would be wrapping it. So this is happening through this channel. So that is what is something called smoothing the workflow. So they should have motion study to understand that is there any slackness, or is there any repetition, or is there some dead time being involved. So we have to make the workflow more efficient. Similarly, total quality management, it talks about the quality control, it talks about quality management, how you ensure quality of the product or the quality of the process and all. Similarly, business process reengineering is to reinvent the business processes, to do the same thing with a different way. So the different way that you choose is more efficient, is more effective, it reduces the time, it is cost effective, it saves time. So all these aspects, so business process reengineering, so there are many obsolete methods are now being removed, and the companies, they are going for more automated. So in, for example, in car manufacturing, robotic arms are being used for doing the jobs which essentially used to be done by people, so that they keep symmetry and consistency, and they can have faster production and smoother production. So the processes could be re-engineered in a way. See, doing a certain things, there are different ways of doing it. So you need to understand which way is most suitable, which way is most optimal, and accordingly you change the business process. Similarly, business process management is also, it talks about how you are going to manage the process so that it is more it is cost effective, and it is more efficient. So how you are going to manage the process? So engineering is like reinventing the way of doing it. Managing is managing the other aspects of it, like cost aspect and some other thing, how the people are managed around them, something like that. So we need to see, all these are basically, it talks about the process management, it's talk about the process strategy, right? So moving ahead is physical evidence strategy. So this is the seventh P. So we need to understand that this three P's, process, people and physical evidence, they are called the service marketing mix. So service marketing mix, how we are going to provide service to the customers, right? So in that, physical evidence plays a very important role. So physical evidence is basically all those tangible elements which of a product or services that customers can perceive. So very beautiful examples is being given here. So examples of physical evidence are the product packaging. So how beautifully it is packaged, and whether it is keeping the product safe, whether it is convenient to store, whether it is convenient to carry, all those things come under product packaging. So if you remember, so these plastic bottles of the vanaspati are very popular in the village areas. So they are basically using that for later on for keeping water or something, or some stores they are using. So they can actually recycle, so reuse the container also. So sometimes again there are various bottling is there where they have measurement caps with it. So all those are basically packaging innovations. So the physical evidence, it include product packaging, receipt, customer services and so on. So it can be especially the beneficial for the customers who are unfamiliar with the company and need some assurance. So physical evidence, for example, you visit a bank. So in the bank there should be a counter for assistance, customer assistance. So a customer can approach there and he can get some information from there. So there should be proper sitting place, there should be proper drinking and other facilities should be properly arranged. So all those aspects are the part of physical evidence. So for example, I am giving a very good example. Say for example, you visit a restaurant. So when you visit a restaurant, so the main aim is to have food or to satisfy your hunger, right? So the main aim of visiting a restaurant is not only to satisfy hunger. So rather, so the core product, if you remember from the previous lectures, so core product is to satisfy your hunger. But when you visit a restaurant, you also expect good service. You expect that there is a proper sitting place with proper temperature, proper air, ventilation, and it should be convenient to move around, and the utensils, the cutleries that are being used are clean and hygienic. The chairs, the tables, they are properly placed. There should be a good aroma around the restaurant. So all these things matters. You should have a proper parking place. There should be proper space for say restrooms and all. So all these somehow make the experience of the customer more enriching. So customer is there not only to have food, rather to experience all these also. So no matter if the food is very wonderful, but there is no proper place to sit, or it is not comfortable to sit, and it is very very congested, for example. So again it is not going to help the restaurant. So it has to take care about the physical evidence as well. So what is physical evidence? So it provides tangible cues of the quality of the experience that the customer experiences the company that is offering to them. For a company, the website itself holds valuable physical evidence. So when we are talking about digital marketing aspect, so the website itself should be very should be attractive. It should be everything should be legible, and it should be easy for the customer to navigate through different pages. So it itself holds the valuable physical evidence, from testimonials to case studies, and as well as the contracts the company have given, or whatever the services they have provided. So the companies, they usually have the services we provide, or the companies, so far we have our prestigious clients or customers, something like that. So this websites itself plays a very pivotal role of being the physical evidence, right? So physical evidence is we need to understand it comprises both the physical cues as well as the quality of the experience the customer experiences. So physical evidence is a tangible proof that establishes the credibility of the organization, the credibility of the brand. So it includes the look and feel, yes, the look and feel of your business branding. So the brand, the logo, it should feel rich. So it should feel rich, it should have some positive vibes, as we say. So sometimes it happens that you visit some place, and the environment, the environment and the surrounding, that is basically physical evidence, is not very congenial. So proper, for example, if you visit some superstore and there is no proper light, and the AC is not working or something like that, and the products are not properly placed, they are scattered around, so that does not look good. So that also plays a very important role. So that is all about physical evidence, right? So the spans of physical and digital environment. So not only the physical environment, but the digital environment. So physical evidence may have maybe prevalent in some retail store, say interior design. So what would be the color of the walls, what would be the texture, how the racks would be rack should be there. So even we have a course called store management, right? So in retailing, we talk about store management. So how the store has to be managed. So a business website, the physical evidence may also include the business website, the social media presence, online rating and reviews of the business or the product, and the uniforms and the behavior of the employees, how the employees and staffs are behaving. That also plays a very important role, and that also enriches the experience of the customers. So the last is the performance strategy. So when we say performance strategy, so it is essentially about it is something which is specific for digital marketing strategy, right? So performance strategy is a digital marketing strategy that is driven by results. So here we are talking about results, how the company has performed, how different marketing channels have performed. The performance addition into marketing mix reflect the importance of technology and constantly changing digital landscape. So the digital landscape are now changing, the technologies are changing the way the businesses are being done. So this change, whether these change are actually have improved the performance or not, that is something we need to understand, that is something we need to strategize. So business should focus on optimizing the performance of their digital assets to ensure that they meet the unrelented customer expectations and achieve the competitive edge. So by if a company is regularly monitoring its performances, by optimizing its performance, by using the benefits of digital technology, so they would be in a position to meet the customer expectations, and that will also lead to achieve the competitive edge. So performance strategy is very important for any organization. So performance strategy, it helps a company to identify its key performance indicators, and it facilitates the continuous monitoring and control for any company. So in this performance strategy, we use different matrices and benchmarks, and we get to know the performance of the company, and it facilitates or it helps us in taking more informed, it helps the businesses in taking more informed and accurate decisions. So in this digital analytics plays a very important role. So digital analytics are the quantitative measurements of the performance of the online content, including the advertisement campaign, social media campaigns, and the website, and so on. So in digital analytics, we would be discussing this in detail in upcoming lectures also. So that is all about performance strategy. I hope you have enjoyed the lecture. That is all, and with this we come to end of week 3rd. I hope you had a wonderful time, you have a happy learnings. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.